So hey guys, welcome back to my little series of tutorials on creating ARMA3 missions with the Alive mod. In part 1 we created a very basic mission by putting down the Alive required, Alive data and Alive virtual AI system. We then created two military commanders, one in the east for the BLUFOR and one in the west for the OPFOR. We placed down some military objectives and then we made them attack each other by syncing the opposing military commanders to the objectives. What we're going to do in this more advanced session is show you how to put down a few more areas for each of the sides. We're also going to look at two very important additional modules, and these are the military close quarter battle module and also the military logistics module. So let's get right into it. So in the first episode we just put down two zones, and both of these were military in nature, the Stratus Air Base over here and the Camino firing range. But we probably want to have a few more areas that start occupied. Particularly I'm looking here at Adgia Marina. It would be nice if OPFOR started with some troops there. So let's follow the basic pattern that we learned before. We'll place a rectangle over Adgia Marina. We're then going to place down a module, the military placement module, but this one is going to be a civilian objective. So we're going to take the civilian objective. We're then going to set a few things. We're going to set the force faction to OPFOR, and we're also going to set the marker. Now we're going to call this marker OPFOR_civ. And then we need to remember to change the variable name of that marker to match that. Great. And then finally we need to sync the military AI commander of OPFOR over to that military placement. There we go. So now there's going to be some troops starting here as well, and we'll set that to just say 60 troops. Fantastic. So now if we were to launch this, we would find that the military commander would be in control of troops both at Adgia Marina and also at the Stratus Air Base. To show you it once more, I'm going to add some troops for BLUFOR at Air Station Mike Mike, which is going to be a military outpost. So we follow the same pattern. We place down our rectangle over Air Station Mike Mike. Let's give it a variable name of BLUFOR_mil. We're then going to place down our military placement, military objective. We're going to set the TOR marker to the variable name of the thing we just placed, the rectangle, and we're going to set it to say 30 troops. And finally, very importantly, we need to change the faction because this is going to be a BLUFOR. So BLU_F. Then we're simply going to sync that back up to the military AI commander. Great. So we've done that. Now let's pop into the mission and see if that worked. Great. So let's pop into Zeus. And units are spawning as expected at the Camino firing range. We set that up in the first episode. Let's now go over to Air Station Mike Mike and see if any units are being placed there. Here we go, we see them spawning in, these units around Air Station Mike Mike. And already we can see that the military AI commander has instructed them to start attacking his objective, which is the Stratus Air Base. Now let's go over to Adgia Marina, which was the other location we placed down. Small error there from one of the mods, just ignore that. And it can take a little bit of time for things to spawn in, particularly at the start of the mission, when the computer's trying to figure out where all the units around the map should be. So we're just going to wait on this. Okay, I can see that at the air station they're still spawning in. And here we go. Now they're starting to spawn in. And we'd expect to see some units staying here to occupy the town. And we'd also expect to see the Op4 AI commander start to order them to attack his objective, which is the Camino firing range. So let's go back to the editor. And now let's look at two other very important modules. The first one of these is the military close quarters battle module. Now this module is really nice because what it does is it adds a bit more life to certain areas, particularly towns, by adding small groups of infantry that occupy buildings. And these will always be in those locations. So that can be really fun for players when they go to a place and they have a little bit more things to find. Placing it down is very, very simple. We get the military close quarters battle module, and then we set it to, we set the faction, so in this case the Op4 faction. And we can see here a few settings which are important. So if this was a persistent mission, you set this to no, to yes. You can also set the probability of troops being in each of the locations. You can set the density within locations, whether you want for when they're spawned in a single man, a pair, or even a fire team if you want to be really brave. But we put that down, and then it's very simple. We sync it to the civilian objective, and now we'll find that there are CQB locations around here. Now to show that actually working, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the debug for the module so that we can see when we load in the locations where they're going to be. So let's just go in and take a look. Live missions can take a little bit of time to boot up. Okay, that was a bit quicker than last time. Let's go into Zeus. Take a look at the map, and as you can see on the map, we had the debug tool on, and we can see that already the AI has assigned these particular buildings to be CQB locations. So once the player gets within about 1500 meters of this location, these troops will actually spawn in and occupy those locations. So that is CQB. Finally, we're going to take a brief look at military logistics. Military logistics are really great. What they basically represent is a reinforcement pool for each of the military AI commanders. So let's say that we have a big fight going on here with Op4 trying to capture the airbase, and Op4 trying to capture the firing range, and Blue 4 trying to capture the airbase. And over time, these units are going to lose men. But what military logistics lets us do is allow the commander to call in troops from a pool of reinforcements when they feel that it's necessary. So let me talk you through the module. It's very easy to place. You simply take the module, place it here, and we want this one to be assigned to the military AI commander. So let's look at the module itself. As usual, you've got the option to turn on persistence. The force pool is really important. So let's say you want there to only be a pool of 100 groups of units to come back in. You'd set that. You can also set what types of units are allowed to be inserted. So let's say you only want infantry, then you set that to yes and all the other ones to no. Another nice feature is that when these troops actually arrive, they'll spawn in helicopters which will land at the base location, or sometimes in convoys, and sometimes even they come in via parachute, which can produce some really interesting effects in your missions. So that is that military logistics, but we also want the Blue 4 to have some military logistics. Wouldn't be fair otherwise, so we'll do exactly the same again. Sync that over to the military AI commander, and then go in here and set a force pool of 100, or in your case, whatever you want to do. So thanks for coming along to part 2. That was just a basic overview of how to put down other areas on the map with military placements, how you can get more life in your map and towns particularly by adding the CQB module, and then finally how you can give your military commanders some reinforcements using the military logistics module. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.